28 years later, the Bone Temple. First off, I just wanted to say apologies, everyone, that I'm 1 week late. I know this movie came out last week, but this past week, well, first of all, opening weekend, 28 years later, the Bone Temple, like its opening weekend, I wasn't feeling good. I was feeling sick. So I was unable to put together a review or a video, um, when it initially first came out. And then this past week was just nothing but just reading, just working, just going to work and coming back home and just studying studying for my very first college exam. um for my college exam. So that's what I've been doing. I've been putting everything on pause. When it comes to like entertainment, I've been putting everything on pause. I allowed myself maybe 1 or 2 hours like per day, like this past week, just watching like one movie or like 1 or 2 episodes, depending on the length or whatever. But like, yeah, finally, now I'm ready to go on with the review. Now, 28 years later, like this whole franchise, like 28 days later, I really liked it. It was really good. 28 days later was really good. 28 weeks later was also really good. 28 years later, was just incredible. It's just a knockout of the park when it comes to all these 28, when it comes to like all of these 28 days later franchise, these film, in this film series. And they've been doing a great job. Alex Garland and Danny Boyle. Like if you put those two guys together, you get like incredible. You get something incredible, something exceptional. And they did it again, like Danny and Alex. This time, now let me see here. Da, 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 da. Danny Boyle directed 28 years later. Da, 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 da. Okay, so 28 days later, 28 days later, Danny Boyle directed the 28 days later. He did not direct 28 weeks later. But Danny was still a producer for 28, was a co-producer for 28 weeks later. And then 28 years later, Danny came back. 28 years later, Danny Boyle came back and directed that movie, and also directed and co-produced along with Alex Garland, who also came back. Who also came back. But yeah, 28 years later, the Bone Temple, these two men are back together, and this time they are joined by director Nia DaCosta. Now, Nia DaCosta, like, from what I know of Nia DaCosta, she directed that horror film, Candyman, which I didn't think, I didn't think it was gonna do. I wasn't so sure about that movie, but after watching it, I was like, this is, oh my god, this is like really good. And then she was the first black woman to direct a Marvel comics film, The Marvels, even though, despite that movie being a box office bomb, it did become the highest grossing film directed by a black woman. So I guess there's a 50% of positivity when it comes to that. But yeah, Alex and Danny are back together, joined by Nia DaCosta, who's directing this film, and I love the way she directs a film. If you watch like the Candyman, the recent like 2021 Candyman movie, She's really great. I think she's really great when it comes to horror films, Nia DaCosta. And all three, Nia, Alex, and Danny, all of them did a great job with this film. They did a great job with this film. Um, it's great. I love the direction. Nia's direction in this film is just it's meticulous, and her direction in this film can be described as meticulous and unnerving. Her direction, that's the two those are the two words that I would use to describe her directing style in this film, that really differentiates itself from Danny Boyle's, faster paced approach. Like if you like, I remember watching 28 years later, Danny Boyle's 28 years later, and yeah, like you can definitely tell like that movie is a faster paced approach to directing. Like he does not waste any time, Danny. And but like Nia, it's her directing is, like I said, it's unnerving and it's meticulous, and she did a great job. I love the performances. Um, I love the performances given by each of these actors, especially the two standouts of this. The two standouts, I guess you could say, on like opposing sides. Um, Ralph Fiennes and Jack O'Connell. Both of those men did such a great, tremendous job. Like I could not, like I cannot like I cannot stop listening and cannot stop seeing, I cannot stop listening to the dialogue that they were taking. I was just encaptured and enamored by their presence, by their performance, and both of these men did a great job. And I love the tone in this film. It definitely does up the gore while deepening the sense of dread compared to its previous entries. But yeah, I did find out. I read an article recently that this movie, despite the positivity, the film did underperform. Unfortunately, it did underperform domestically in its initial weeks. The opening weekend, it debuted with $13 million over its first 3 days, which is significantly softer than the $30 million opening of the first part. I believe I really want to say 28 weeks later. I assume we're talking about that. And then worldwide, its current global total sits at approximately $34.5 million. Despite the slow opening, it's technically, the second highest grossing film of 2026 so far. But come on, like, but come on, guys, like, but come on, like, I believe, but despite all that, I still believe that this movie it's still a really good, it's still a really great movie. But like the whole second highest grossing film of 2026, I mean, the year literally just started. The year literally just started. We have like fucking 11 months. We have 11 months. It's January. We got like 11 months to go of the year. So, and there's a lot of, I feel like, there's a lot of great movies coming out. The year is still young, very young. And I'm pretty sure there are a lot of great movies coming that can definitely, knock this movie down. But anyway, guys, that's pretty much all I have to say for 28 years later, The Bone Temple. It's a really good movie. Like, all these 28 days later, like 28 days later, 28 weeks later, 28 years later, and its sequel, The Bone Temple, all these films, like, in general, are really good, and you guys should definitely watch it. If you like the post-apocalyptic horror type of films, definitely check it out. I really highly recommend this. Definitely. I do know there is a sequel that is in development right now. Um, and a fan favorite. I won't say who it is, but I'm pretty sure you guys know who it is, who I'm talking about. But a fan favorite, a beloved character from this franchise, from this whole series, is coming back in the next sequel, whenever that is in production or whatever. But anyway, that's pretty much all I have to say, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for taking your time to listen to my review, my thoughts on 28 years later, the Bone Temple. Please like and subscribe. Definitely subscribe because that will help me and my YouTube channel out a lot. I'm thankful for all of you. I love you guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Peace.